The adventures of a solo lawn care provider never ends. Got me a loaner. Truck's in the shop. No, has nothing to do with the trailer. It's just an old truck. It's a 99. Stuff's gonna happen. That's just what happens. Has nothing to do with the fact that I was pulling a trailer. It was the heater core that needs to be replaced. It's a common thing after a certain amount of time it has to be done, so I'm not really worried about it. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it has nothing to do with the trailer. Decided to just get it fixed rather than get a new truck because everything else about the truck is still good. So I got this loaner from U-Haul. Was the best bargain I could find. Have it for 2 days. It's a Dodge 1500. It's not too bad. I'll be 100% honest. You know, 5.7 liter, same kind of power that I would want to get in a truck after I replace the one I have. But I just wanted to say real quick, I was at Pleasance Hardware. I'm very impressed. This truck is a lot higher up than my truck, so I had this flipped over and the ball, you know, on the bottom side, and this was flipped over because my truck was a lot lower. So that's something common that you do. The trailer dealer did it for me so that the trailer would be sitting at the right level. Well, this truck is higher, so I had to actually flip it back the way that it was. But because I have this loaner truck and I don't have all my tools with me, my toolbox is actually in my other truck, which is in the shop. Unfortunately, I didn't have the right tools to take that ball off. So the great thing about this story is, you know, I'm all the way on the other side of town compared to Home Depot. And, you know, because I didn't realize this till I went to pick up my trailer, I'm like, oh man, it's like this much off. You know, like I jacked up the trailer as high as it would go, and it just will not go any higher. So I had to flip that hitch around. I didn't want to go all the way back over to Home Depot to the other side of town. I was just over there picking up this truck. I wish I had thought about all this, but I had no idea. So I went to Pleasance Hardware, which is, you know, like your neighborhood hardware store. It's right down the street. Asked if they had a hitch ball wrench. You know, I was just gonna bite the bullet and buy another one or whatever, but I didn't have it. They don't have them in stock, but they had a pipe wrench, which is this. In case those of you that don't know, this is a pipe wrench right here, so you can extend it out like a normal wrench, but this has some really nice sharp teeth you see in between there. So this goes super wide out, so you can grip onto anything round, you can grip onto any nuts, and it's just really beneficial. And I was able to use this with a pair of pliers that he had. He let me take this off the shelf. He took this off the hook, gave me a set of pliers from his toolbox, and said, "Go ahead, just swap it out. His first thing was, you just want to borrow it, because this is, you know, he recommended this, and he was like, that's what I would use. You want to just borrow it?" So I was like, "Are you serious right now? You're gonna let me come out here in the parking lot with this tool? I mean, it's only 15 bucks. It's not, you know, a huge amount, but still, the integrity and the honesty." It's just kind of crazy to me, because I don't really get that experience on a regular basis. So I was impressed that he allowed me to go out in the parking lot with his tool and the store's tool, flip my ball over, and be good to go. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy this, because this is a really good tool to have. And I told him the same thing. I said, "You're a good salesman, man. I'm just gonna buy this instead of putting it back on the hook, because you never know when this might come in handy again around the house and on the road." And he's like, "Yeah, you can't beat it. It's a good tool to have in your toolbox." So just wanted to share that story. Got it 15 bucks. It's super heavy duty. Has a long handle for a lot of leverage, a lot of torque. You can, you know, hammer on it like I had to loosen up the nut. So big shout out to Pleasant Hardware. Sometimes it's good to find a nice neighborhood hardware store versus those big box stores. They're not always going to give you the same kind of service. And now this is universal versus a hitch ball wrench is just for a hitch ball, just for that size nut, which how often are you going to run into that other than a hitch ball? This I can use for all kinds of stuff. This is how small it gets. I mean, I can go from small to huge. So just wanted to share that story. But yeah, I'm in a loaner. It is what it is, right? I actually am enjoying driving this truck. It's only got 2,000 miles on it, so it's a really new truck. Here's the interior. It's pretty sweet. So it looks brand new inside. Obviously the outside's got the whole U-Haul wrap on it. But I haven't necessarily made up my mind. I've kind of made up my mind as to what truck I like and what I want. I'm definitely thinking about a Toyota Tundra, 5.7, plenty of power, just like this 1500. That's all I need. I'm not going to be ever pulling anything more than what I'm already pulling, if not less. So I've heard a lot of good things about Toyota. I've always known Toyota's a good dealer, a good brand. I had a Toyota once upon a time. Not a pickup truck, but it was I had a RAV4. So Toyota's always been good, and they're only getting better. So I heard a lot of good things about the Tundra. I heard a lot of guys are switching to Tundras, not necessarily in the lawn and landscaping industry, but guys that have trucks and pull something, you know, bikes, whatever, you know, ATVs, all that kind of stuff. They're switching to Toyotas, or they're taking Toyota parts out and putting them into their current trucks. You know, whether it's a Jeep or whatever, they're taking parts out and swapping them for Toyota parts. So I know Nissan, Toyota, those two are pretty solid. I don't see a lot of them out and about pulling, you know, landscape and lawn care trailers, but that doesn't mean they're not good. Just means that maybe they're expensive, just people aren't thinking about it, whatever. I don't really care about all that. I just care about the quality of the truck. I'm not a name brand person. I'm all about what's going to work. I don't care how much it is. If it's going to work, I'll spend the money. I will, because I know you get what you pay for. I've learned that lesson way too many times in life. So when I can and when I need to, I will be prepared to buy a new truck. Hopefully the one I have now will keep the F-150 will last as long as possible, and we'll go from there. So for those of you who came, you're gonna join you right now. I had to record this. Never seen this before. It's a turn dial shifter. So instead of a shift around the side or a stick shift. Never seen that before. I'm sure some of you guys have this if you have a newer truck, but I thought that was very interesting. I don't know what the benefit is of that. If it's better or worse, it's pretty cool, but it's definitely taking me getting used to it. I keep wanting to grab something, and it's right here. I just turn it, so pretty cool. Man, I know I said this is brand new, but it's really brand new. It's got that fresh car smell and everything. It's like I'm renting a car to go down to Louisville or something, Kentucky, you know? So it's kind of cool. Aside from the big old U-Haul stuff all over the outside, I feel like I'm just in a new truck, like I just got a new truck. So it definitely gives me perspective. It rides really well. You know, the 5.7, it's like pulling nothing. You can't even tell, you know, what's back there. So definitely need a 5.7. I don't think I need anything more than that. I mean, 6.0 is cool too if I got an F-250, but I'll have to compare prices with different things, different brands, and go from there. You know, I definitely like Ford, but like I said before, I know Toyota is a reliable brand, and you know, they're built to last. So we'll see. Don't need to make a decision anytime soon. All winter I could probably, you know, go through and test drive different things and figure stuff out for future thinking. I definitely don't need to jump the gun yet and just get something right away. Get my other truck fixed, see how that goes, and keep going, keep moving forward. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's like renting a brand new truck. And that's when I thought it was all over. I saw my camera was all busted up, my expensive newest camera, and I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me right now. the screen's all cracked and smashed up, and the camera was acting all funky. It was still recording. It was still recording, so got to give it to Sony. They still built a really good camera. It's not meant to be dropped off of things, but all in all, because I had the screen up, I think that took the brunt of everything and protected the rest of the camera. So now the screen doesn't work, can't see anything. It was all like half undone and pieces were coming off, and the camera kept going haywire and turning on and off, on and off. And so I just eventually had to take it all apart, take the screen, everything apart, off, and try and reconnect it and all that. And I got it to kind of be functional, so at least the camera works now. You can see, but I can't see anything, so it's just like having a GoPro or having a camera with the screens that don't flip out. So not a big deal, but it was very shocking at the time that it happened, and I thought to myself that my camera, I didn't know right away how bad the camera was. I just saw it and was freaking out and just thought that I was gonna have to go back to square one and just keep using my phone. I really just was like, man, why even is the point of me, so what is the point of me even doing all this? Like, man, I'm just gonna go back to using my phone. And I just, you know, I was just kind of upset with myself and everything that was going on, and is even all this worth it? And I just had to like snap out of it and say, it is worth it, you know? Go back to the drawing board. Why did I even start doing this? Because if I can help one person, at least one person, in some way with their life, with their business, or both, then it's worth it. Then it's worth it. So that I just had to remind myself of that. And also look at all the opportunities that putting myself out there on YouTube and social media in general has brought for me in my life, in my family, my business. So, you know, I just realized that I was kind of in a funk after seeing my camera look like it was completely destroyed. You know, those things you don't necessarily take lightly, or at least I don't, because that's money spent and possibly lost. So, I mean, that's just one of those things. You know, I should have been more careful. I mean, that's just kind of some of the trials and tribulations that happens when you're filming stuff all the time. You have to be careful, you have to protect your stuff, and, you know, things could get stolen, things could break, whatever. I mean, it's just all part of the process. So, I got over it, moving on, just keep moving forward. And I'm glad you guys are sticking around with me. There's some more exciting, fun things to come in the future, and I can't wait to share them with you guys.